Hello and welcome to my video presentation on designing a travel website for Copenhagen. I first started by looking at 10 competitor websites and completed 3 types of visual research. I first started with the novelty and aesthetic graph, from which I found a linear relationship where the websites that tended to be more beautiful were more unique in design. I then completed a visual analysis by first getting screenshots from 4 of the 10 competitor websites. From this, I was able to analyze 5 different elements that follow: typography. Most of the websites used sans serif and bold subheadings. Easy navigation. Most of the websites had a quick navigation menu at the top of the website containing a homepage, search bar, and drop-down links. Negative space. Most of the websites use negative space to separate different sections and to allow colorful photos to stand out. Simplicity. Most of the websites had large headings and large photos. Communication. These websites also contained a soft color palette and images to break up the text. And lastly, I looked at a competitor audit looking at the different features from the 10 websites. The most important features that stood out to me were a search bar, the website being mobile responsive, an itinerary maker, price conversion, quick guide, and a map. Moving on to my user and site goals. My target audience is Australians aged 18 to 25 that are wanting to visit Copenhagen on a medium to low budget that are also mobile and laptop users. My user goals are to make users feel ready and prepared to be in a foreign country, to learn about all the fun activities in Copenhagen on a budget, to know where to eat and stay, and to create a short stay itinerary. My site goals are to help young Australians on a budget plan a trip to Copenhagen where they will feel confident and prepared when they arrive, and to also show off all the wonderful things and experiences Copenhagen has to offer that you can't get anywhere else in Australia. I then prepared 6 interview questions for 3 different target audience members. The most important results from the interviews were as follows. Question 3. The most frequent missing features included a public transport and getting around feature, activities for young people, and a quick guide. Question 4. The most common ranking consisted of placing activities at the top, followed by accommodation, then food/drink. And lastly, question 5. They wanted to understand how they could get around to each place and to stay safe while doing so. The idea of a quick guide was brought up with the essential information for when they arrive. I then created a persona based off of my target audience. Meet Shane. He's 20 years old from Melbourne, Australia. He's a student/bartender, and his hobbies are traveling and cooking. Some of his goals are to complete his university studies and to visit Copenhagen, while some of his frustrations are budgeting weekly expenses and his study/work-life balance. Lastly, moving on to my conclusion. Based on the visual research, the use of negative space will allow for clear headings and photos to stand out on the page, allowing for easy navigation. Based on the site goals and user needs research, the website will target young Australians wanting to travel to Copenhagen, where the site will prepare them for when they arrive. And lastly, based on the interviews, the needs for prioritizing cost, getting around, and a quick guide feature was highlighted as a must. Therefore, my website will include this to fully prepare young Australians traveling to Copenhagen. Thank you for listening.